let's get back to the World Cup. Let's get back to the Golden Boot and the Golden Ball race here. Michael, coming to you first here. Golden Boot. We got a race on our hands because there are pretty much 4 players who could win this. I mean, if you look at who's sitting on 5 goals right now, you have Messi and Mbappe sitting on 5. Then you've got Julian Alvarez and Olivier Giroud sitting on 4 right behind. I mean, either of those players could win.
This is what you want. If you're neutral, this is why you have the final. And I mean, just scripted for one of those players to step up to just win that award. I think the Golden Boot, I see it going to Lionel Messi. I see the Golden Ball, should Argentina win, going to Lionel Messi. If France wins, Mbappe gets both. I think that's going to be the matchup that decides this World Cup.
Really?
Wow.
Mbappe to win it?
It's interesting that you say this, because we've had a couple of debates about it. I think it's got to be Griezmann. Obviously Messi does the job for Argentina that Griezmann and Mbappe together have been doing for France. But I mean, I really think, Griezmann, to be fair, has a really good shout to win this title, regardless of the result, because I think without Griezmann, France don't reach this final. But because of the overriding narrative, if Argentina win, if Messi is the one who scores the goal and, absolutely cements his, that Golden Boot ahead of Mbappe by 1 goal, then yeah, sure, I can see the award going to him. I debate whether, Griezmann deserved to miss out, but if France win, I think Griezmann absolutely has to be player of the tournament. And like Mike said, I think this game will decide it, because I think I can only see it really having maybe 1 or 2 goals in it, maximum. And I do think that, Mbappe and Messi are the best shouts to score those goals. So it could be a question of whoever scores on Sunday will win the Golden Boot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. That's what it comes down to for me is the Golden Boot's going to come down to who scores. I do believe one of them score on Sunday. And then I agree with JJ when it comes to the Griezmann. Early on in the game against Morocco, Griezmann had a couple sloppy turnovers. And so because of that, I started watching him a little more intently during the game. And when you see the timing of his runs, the way that he breaks press, just the little things that he does that I think we saw in Modric for the last 5-6 years, that movement off the ball, all the things that are really hard to quantify in terms of the impact on the game that he's doing right now, it's unbelievable. So I would say Mbappe, if he scores, obviously the team that wins it, but if Argentina wins it, then I think you're going to see Messi with 2 giant trophies and then a bunch of other giant trophies. And then in a week, we're going to see him in his trophy room with 40 or 50 or 60 of the trophies that he has, cementing that GOAT status as a little bit of a tip of the cap to Ronaldo. But I think it's going to come down to that. I don't think there's one clear winner, but I do think if it goes towards France win that World Cup, then I could see Griezmann getting that.
Well, question for you guys.
Go ahead, Mike.
What if Mbappe scores the game-winning goal? You still give it to Griezmann? If it's a 1-0 game and Mbappe scores.
Unless he has a man of the match.
If Griezmann assists it, then it makes the job easier.
That's fair. That's fair.
Part of me always feels like these
final.
Part of these always make me feel like these are always sort of semi-summed up already. Obviously, we're talking about over a tournament. There is generally recency bias in the knockout rounds and things like that. But yeah, it's a great question, Lahud. I don't know, man. I don't know how that
think
someone's going to be sad.
I think the thing is, though, we know that, barring, some sort of unthinkable scenario, Mbappe is going to play in future World Cups. Messi is not. I think that's why the narrative is, so much stronger around Messi should Argentina win. Whereas I think it would be easier to recognize the role that Griezmann has played as well as Mbappe, if France come out on top.
Mike, real quickly on your question right there. Is this the best we've seen from Mbappe in this competition?
Oh, that's a really good question. I don't think so. I think he was more electrifying
that answers
in
your question.
2018. But if he does score the game-winning goal in the World Cup final, that is MVP status.
As JJ touched upon, no, Michael, you're watching a France side that pretty much wouldn't have got to this final had it not been for that top-class performances that we have been seeing from a player who, in many ways, has been starved of playing time at Atleti because of the stupid contract situation, but also a little bit of freedom from him playing in his France team. He's so free. He's playing with a smile on his face. He's celebrating with his team. He looks like he's back to his best. Outstanding performance from him. And I think, obviously, there's been some other players who really deserve recognition. Tchouaméni has been brilliant to watch and also getting forward. Watch out for him at the weekend. He loves to have a shot from distance. And then Rabiot, again, I hope he really does play because he was a big miss as far as I'm concerned in that midfield.